Can cooperatives be of use in building socialism in the form of a revolutionary industrial union administration? Or are they a revisionist diversion that wastes precious time, resources, and effort? Among those who have cast shade on this idea are at least three groups: Stalinists, Delianists, and utopian socialists. Stalinists, at least some of them, proclaim that any form of economic democracy or worker self-management is a utopian fantasy. Delianists agree with the industrial union administration concept for working-class self-management, but attack the cooperative strategy as diversionary and unworkable. Utopian socialists are opposed to the idea of an industrial union administration, but are on board with a movement of cooperatives. Since our proposal is an adaptation of the Delianist program, we will take a brief look at the criticisms that the Socialist Labor Party leveled at the cooperative movement, and we'll take a look at that in the next video in this series. But first, a quick look at what Karl Marx had to say about cooperatives. In his inaugural address to the First International, Marx wrote, "But there was in store a still greater victory of the political economy of labor over the political economy of property. We speak of the cooperative movement, especially of the cooperative factories raised by the unassisted efforts of a few bold hands. The value of these great social experiments cannot be overrated. By deed, instead of by argument, they have shown that production on a large scale, and in accord with the behest of modern science, may be carried on without the existence of a class of masters employing a class of hands. That to bear fruit, the means of labor need not be monopolized as a means of dominion over and of extortion against the laboring man himself, and that, like slave labor, like serf labor, hired labor is but a transitory and inferior form, destined to disappear before associated labor, plying its toil with a willing hand, a ready mind, and a joyous heart." Marx went on to temper his praise of cooperativism with a warning as to its limitations. At the same time, the experience of the period from 1848 to 1864 has proved beyond doubt that, however excellent in principle and however useful in practice, cooperative labor, if kept within the narrow circle of the casual efforts of private workmen, will never be able to arrest the growth in geometrical progression of monopoly, to free the masses, nor even to perceptibly lighten the burden of their miseries. Marx was quite right, and even though this was written almost 160 years ago, there are still niches where cooperatives can be successful. And if this activity is undertaken in an outward-looking manner by revolutionary socialists with a comprehensive plan for building socialism, there is reason to be hopeful that such a plan could bear fruit.